Folinic, real name Louisa, is a 5-star medic who's only available through the Twilight of Willamund events record restoration, through 3-starring 4 stages to get her, or 8 stages to max out her pot. She's also one of Rhode Island's Harmoses. Folinic has 0 years of combat experience and serves as a student under Dr. Kal'tsit, as well as an expert medic operator for RI's medical staff. Unlike normal medics, Folinic also looks to attack enemies, as well as heal her allies. She stands at 164 centimeters tall, was born on the 18th of August in Ursus, and is of the feline race, which is strange because she's a mongoose, among us. In her archive files and promotion record, it's noted that Folinic is Cal's student, though all medics have, at one time or another, received guidance from Cal as long as they're involved in medical tasks or experiments. But Folinic is special, as after she passed her Medic Ops certification, Cal had HR make a special certificate for Folinic, with Folinic placing it in her dorm to show it off. Only Folinic has not felt the pressure of one of the heads of RI breathing down her neck. Many ops come to see Folinic, not because they have a serious illness or injury, but because they want to improve some aspect of their lifestyle, to which Folinic suggests having a healthier lifestyle. However, most of these ops want a convenient method to feel better, instead of being up at 6 AM and in bed by 9 PM, running around the land ship in the morning, showering, eating, and then heading to work like Folinic does every day, even with no operation happening. Folinic doesn't have any vices, socializes when needed, and spends most of her time improving herself, only going hunting on weekends as it interests her. According to other operators, she does this Spartan lifestyle because, if she doesn't, she'll relapse to some terrible event in her past, and won't be able to sleep at night. Folinic wanted to become a researcher rather than an op. She does still have much to learn as a combat op, even with her interest in hunting. After the Chernobog incident, Folinic asked Cal if she could become a combat op as quickly as possible, or at least a combat medic. Cal agreed to her request, and Folinic began training to become one. After 6 months, Folinic was fully trained and joined RI's Outpost Operation Team. She had trouble deciding what class to be, sniper, balancing being a medic and a guard, but ended up just being a combat medic. She realized that most medics were weak and had no combat capabilities if there was no one to guard them. Because of this, Folinic created a number of reagents that could become toxins to incapacitate enemies. Being from Ursus, Folinic carries that hatred that is common there. Though not directed at anyone in particular, it is mainly directed at the Ursus Empire as a whole. When living there, she would be lucky to even get a single meal each day. Folinic foolishly thought that her life was soon to get better after following her mom to Chernobog and meeting good people, such as Cal. But one day, she lost it all. Her family, her friends, all gone with no trace, with Cal entrusting Folinic to another family. From the little evidence available, Folinic was able to see that Ursus was the cause of death of her mother. Each bit of knowledge she gained on Ursus, the angrier she became. Before Reunion attacked Chernobog, she expressed her desire to follow Cal. And if ever asked where her home was, Folinic would probably answer something along the lines of, quote, "My home will always be wherever Dr. Kal'tsit is." Her promotion record is a transcript of a conversation between Folinic and Cal after Folinic became a combat op. Cal asked what Louisa's code name should be, with Louisa choosing Folinic as her code name. It was the first word in the medical dictionary that Louisa couldn't remember, although it was most likely due to being burned out on memorization. Folinic is confirmed to be infected. She has a cell originum assimilation of 4%, a blood originum crystal density of 0.22 parts per liter, and there's a comment from Folinic on the report saying that she can probably do better. In her character art, drawn by M9 Nokuro, Folinic wears a white, collared blouse with a black ruffled tie around the collar, an infection monitor choker, a white and black doctor's coat that has Rhode Island on it, black shorts, sheer tights, black boots, blue gloves, a blue armband with a medical symbol on it, a white flower in her hair, much like her mother, radios in her ears that connect to a device on her lapel, and a belt that has many different pouches. She has a mechanical device that's attached to the bottom of her back. On the left side, it has what looks to be a firearm that's controlled by a joystick, and on the right is the Honey semi-automatic liquid collection device, which has 2 blades, a large syringe, and 2 tanks that look to be full of blood. In her voice lines, voiced by Rana Kondo, who also voices Ronnie Arabelle in SAO Alicization, Kazuko Suema in Boogie Pop, Sakura Kono in Horimiya, Nagomi Wahira in Akiba Maid War, Hirori Kanazo in Idolmaster, Kashino in Azure Lane, Aru Rikuichima in Blue Archive, Shifuna Agato in Precon, and Trung Trak in FGO, Folinic often talks about different medical things.
医療部のフォリニックです。今後は戦場医療任務にも参加します。また、ケルシー先生の要請により、あなたの健康管理も担当します。よろしくお願いします。最近、体調の優れないところはありますか？はい、肌の乾燥。ええ、肩のこり。目の乾燥、抜け毛。脱力感。なるほど。いつもの症状ですから特に問題はありません。あなたが運動をするようになれば、すぐにでも改善しますよ。医療部の生活は、定例会議、館内往診、オペレーターのヘルスデータの把握、新薬の研究開発といったことの繰り返しです。何も目新しいことはありませんよ。私たち医療スタッフが、皆さんにご協力いただいているおかげで、仕事中の不安も減り、楽しく働けています。とはいえ、もちろんまだまだ頭を抱える問題も残っています。例えば、ブレイズ氏がいつも血まみれで帰ってくることとか。毎回ですよ。体液の清掃がどれだけ面倒なのか、あの人は知らないんでしょうか。夜更かしも暴飲暴食もダメだと何度も言ったでしょ。聞く耳を持たないということですか？じゃあ、何のための健康管理なのよ。一生椅子に寝てればいいじゃない。すみません。ちょっと頭を冷やしてきます。当時の薬剤投与量は足りていなかったようですね。次は、あと3倍追加投与すれば、想定通りの効果が期待できそう。
At E2, with everything maxed, Folinic has 1,905 HP, 529 attack, 133 defense, 0 resistance, a 70-second redeploy time, 18 DP cost, and a 2.85 second attack speed, though it's probably a bit lower with her module. She has the standard range of a single target medic. At max trust, she gets plus 200 HP and plus 50 attack. At max pot, she gets minus 3 DP, minus 10 seconds to redeploy, though this brings her down from 80 to 70, and a buff to her talent. Her talent, which is unlocked at E1 and upgraded at E2, Drug Inhibition Technique, has Folinic gained status resistance and takes minus 50% damage from the environment, such as lava and frost. Folinic has one base skill, which is upgraded at E2. Toxicology Alpha changes to Meticulous at E2. When Folinic is assigned to the workshop to process elite materials, any elite materials that consume 2 morale to craft now take 1 morale. Folinic's first skill, Max Dosage Infusion, gains SP over time, is manually triggered, and lasts for 40 seconds at all levels. At level 7, it starts with 16 SP and requires 34 to proc, while at M3, it starts with 20 and requires 30. At level 7, she gets plus 1 tile range and plus 50% attack. At M3, she gets plus 2 tiles and plus 80% attack. The top range is level 7, the bottom range is M3. Her second skill, Compound Drug Shell, gains SP over time and is manually triggered. At level 7, it starts with 16 SP, needs 44 to proc, and lasts 27 seconds. At M3, it starts with 20, needs 40, and lasts 30 seconds. At level 7, Folinic's attacks now fire a shell that prioritizes enemies. When it hits, it heals surrounding allies by 120% of her attack, and deals 160% arts damage to enemies. At M3, it heals 150% and deals 200% arts damage. Folinic has a PHY-Y module called Mother's Cravat, making it so that when she heals an ally on a ground tile, they receive 15% more healing. At module level 3, Mother's Cravat buffs drug inhibition technique to give allies in Folinic's range minus 25% damage taken from environmental effects, as well as giving her plus 120 max HP and plus 6 attack speed. To unlock and max out her module, you must have Folinic at E2 level 50, have 100% trust with her, deal a total of 80,000 damage with Folinic, clear stage 5-2 with 3 stars, deploying Folinic and having her kill at least 8 enemies, have 6 module data blocks, 20 data patching strips, 8 data patching devices, 3 white horse coals, 4 grindstone pentahydrates, 5 polymerized gels, and 150,000 LMD. Folinic is an interesting medic, as she falls into the very unique and very niche subcategory of medic, that being a harm assist, consisting of her, Kal'tsit, and Hibiscus the Purifier, at least in EN, as Reed Alter will be added in the future. Her stats, HP and defense-wise, are higher than the average medic. Her talent gives her SAS resistance and has her take less damage from environmental hazards such as originum crystals, lava, etc., with some of that effect being applied to allies in her range with her module. Her S1 increases her range by 1 to 2 tiles, her S2 does a ton of arts damage to enemies while healing allies, and she's easily obtainable / easy to max pot from Record Restoration. But healing-wise, the main purpose of the medic, she's lacking, not to mention her very expensive DP cost compared to other medics of her rarity, and her massive 70-second with max pot redeploy time. Regardless, she's lacking when it comes to healing less than other single-target medics, both through skills and normal healing. Her S2's damage and healing is meh, and when her S2 is procced, she'll ignore allies who need healing to hit enemies. Overall, she's an alright medic, especially for stages with environmental hazards, but there are some better options out there. Thank you for watching. Please follow my Twitter for updates. I also stream and are currently streaming Okami, and please check out my other Arknights and Azure Lane videos as well. There will be teasers out tomorrow for next week's character summaries.